I'm here today at the Sunway Pyramid where they're having an ice hockey tournament here. And I just love these sort of places because it gives me so many opportunities to do good photographs. Today we're trying to go and find someone to work with on his photography. I believe I've found someone we can work with. Hi.
Hi.
My name is Kenny.
Oh, I'm Derek.
What are you photographing here today?
Oh, it's an ice hockey competition going on.
Would you like to work together with us today? Perhaps
sure.
we can offer you some tips on how to improve your
Definitely,
shots.
that'd be great. That'd be great.
One of the things I see is that your exposure is a little dark. So you may want to perhaps even lighten your exposure. The second thing is your lens is not very long. It's not long enough to really frame the ice hockey players. So I suggest that perhaps you just pick a spot here and then allow the players to go by your camera and then you photograph them. And perhaps you can even try panning your camera. Would you like to try it?
Yeah, what do you mean by panning?
Well, actually, if you pick a spot, let's say you want to photograph right over here, when the person reaches that point, you just pan your camera and then you keep on shooting. Okay? That way you will probably get a result where the background is blurred and the subject is sharp. But do adjust your exposure first.
You just pick a point there and just
Yeah, let's pick the black spot right there. Okay? When somebody skates by, you can photograph them. It's also going to be a game of patience.
Yes.
They're not exactly going to get there all the time.
I think this is going to take a while.
Yeah. But actually, in these sort of cases, you normally want to overexpose by at least 2 stops. Because there's white. The white of the ice is going to cause your exposure to become very dark. So you always want to compensate. Why don't we point the camera there and try and photograph them?
I read somewhere about depth of field.
Yes.
So what is it exactly?
Actually, depth of field allows you to, let's say, for example, you're photographing someone and the background is very cluttered, very busy. You want to isolate the subject, then you use a very large aperture, for example, f5.6. But let's say you're doing a landscape shot, you want everything in focus, you use maybe f16. The other one thing I want to teach you is actually high ISO. Actually, in an environment like this where you can see everywhere is very dark, you really want to use a high ISO because that will allow your shutter speed to be faster, which means you can capture shots that doesn't have so much of blur. So as you can see, there are players waiting for their turn. This could be a good opportunity to take some photographs.
Yeah. Let me try to come in.
Check out the coach getting very good expressions on his face. So one of the things about photography is when you move lower or higher, it changes your perspective totally. So for example, in this case, if you go slightly lower, then you can see the shot is different altogether. And when you do shots, always be aware of what's in your background. For example, let's see what we're getting. Okay, we're getting all the shops in the background. But even if you were to go in tighter, let's say you go for a telephoto shot, then you can just focus on the person's face. Okay? And now those people are coming over. That's another action shot right there.
Yeah,
okay, you can take it. That's good.
Okay.
This is another opportunity. You can see a lot of kids possibly get a lot of expressions. What I want you to do is just take some pictures first and then we'll see how if we can improve on it.
Okay.
She's giving you a perfect smile right there.
I know. Wonderful. How about that?
Slight problem with the exposure, so I want you to sort of compensate, open up by about 1 stop. Okay. Okay, what we need to do now, you can look for interesting things that are in the picture. For example, there are all the kids, they are lined up against that. Maybe go for a lower angle and try. So the whole point is just to be aware of your surroundings, because things are happening so fast, and sometimes if you don't concentrate, you'll miss a shot. For example, right now, in a place like this, you really need to open up your f-stop, meaning you have to compensate, otherwise all your shots are going to come out very dark. So how do your day go?
It's better.
You can see, actually a couple of things. I think the most important thing I want you to learn from today is actually that a lot of things that happens around you, you can photograph it. Many opportunities, and when you come in, you have to be slow, you walk slowly, you observe what's around you. For instance, I see you've got a lot of good candid shots. Actually, another few things is that today you learn about shutter speed, you learn about aperture, you also learn about high ISO. And all these things actually are very important to the photography. But nothing is more important than your eye and how you perceive things. So I hope you had a good time today. Thank you. I had a good time. Thanks.